Today we're going back 100 years ago to see what was in the news. What we are looking at are going to be images, pages, articles, and other things from the Reading Eagle from the month of March 1923. So we're going all the way back. We're going to see what life was like. Hopefully we'll learn something. If you like this video, please make sure to like it down below. Also, make sure to click thumbs up if that's down there. Subscribe and everything else. And let's go. First thing, what's the first thing in the paper? Stylish, stout corsets. Look at those lovely ladies. They prove that no woman is too stout to be stylish. Of course not. You're stout, you style it up. Style your stoutness. So let's see what else we got. Snappy boys suits. Hey, look at this. That kid's got the first ever cell phone. What's going on with this kid? He's like, look at me. I'm in 1920. I got my pants. I'm gonna talk on the phone about them. What's going on with that? It says new spring styles. Every suit has 2 pairs of pants. Unless you got extra legs, you're gonna be covered with this. You can get your suit for $6.98, $7.98, $9.98, or $12.98. Wow, that was a different time. It sure was. Let's see what else we got. Brothers with X-ray eyes. We believed a lot of things 100 years ago that we might not believe today. Let's see what this says. London, March 2nd or March 3rd, I'm not sure. 2 sons of a Spanish nobleman are gifted with X-ray eyes, according to an article in the Madrid Madrid Imparcial, quoted by the Daily Mail. They're still doing this. Like, I bet they have a Brothers with X-ray eyes article out today. It says tests have been shown that the use of abnormal vision enables them to read through silver, brass, or iron, but they cannot see through porcelain or paper. Wait a minute. So they can't. Because, like, I can put, like, a paper here. If there's enough light, I can see through paper. I'm not a magic man. I don't have, like, X-ray specs that I ordered off the back of a comic book. I'm not related to any Spanish noblemen. I don't understand this one. I think this one was a hoax. That was my guess. Okay, so we had, for entertainment options, we had a hoedown over at Ulrich's Auditorium in Frizztown. And there's music by Delp's Orchestra. I like that. It's spelled like a typo or something. We also could go to a hoedown at Gott's Hall Auditorium. They had Sinking Spring on Saturday evening and Schaefer's Orchestra. I don't know what a Sinking Spring is. I don't know if that's a band. I don't know what it is, but I'm down with it. So we got 2 hoedowns. But really, why would you go to either of these hoedowns when you could go to a grand old hoedown at the State Hill Hotel Saturday evening, March 3rd? Everybody was invited. They also had a fair, and what is this, by Bronx Six? The Bronx Six. Oh, man. I bet there's a band today called the Bronx Six. That sounds like it sounds like either the name of a criminal organization or like a really cool band. So, and sometimes I've learned it can be both. So there you go. All right, this is the help wanteds. They want boys. Several boys wanted to learn chewing gum business. You got to learn how to chew it. All right, first thing, everybody's doing it. They're picking their nose and chewing it. Wait, that's picking your nose, not chewing gum. All right, so you have to roll it up in the chewing gum and then you send it to the Navy. All right, so this is at the Reading Chewing Gum Company in Hyde Park. So I guess there's a Hyde Park area of Pennsylvania, because I don't think the Reading Chewing Gum Company is located all the way at Hyde Park when Reading is in Pennsylvania. And this is the Reading Eagle, so I'm pretty sure there must be a Hyde Park there. Boys wanted between 14 and 16 years of age for lock assembling. Good wages and steady work. Wow, they hired kids young, man, 14 to 16. Boys to turnstile. I turned some stockings when I was a boy, I'll tell you that. Advanced Hosiery Company at 6 and Walnuts. Yeah, all right. You get your walnuts in your stockings. Boys between 15 and 16 for double sole cutting. Man, some boy got to cut some sole. Hey, boys, you want to cut some sole today? Oh, yes, we do. This is probably the most epic trolling. Listen to this. If this doesn't sound like something you'd hear about on Twitter, real beer melts snow. Philadelphia, March 6th. Remember, this was during Prohibition, so liquor totally illegal at this point. It says real high power beer was used today to melt the snow in front of the federal Prohibition storage house here. Over 120 barrels were seized in raids and then poured onto the snow-covered street while hundreds of people looked upon the scene. The disposal of the liquor was conducted by, and then I think they bleeped it out. It's blank deputy marshals. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Hundreds of people gather in the street, go, "Oh my God, I remember liquor. It tasted so good. I miss it so much. They poured it right on the snow. You know what? I'll mop up the snow. I'll shovel all the snow. Just give me the beer." Man, that's trolling. That's like high level trolling. That's the Joker, getting all the money and then setting it on fire. So people just want to watch the snow melt. All right, let's see what's next. Married a dumb wife. Oh man, some people have done that. Not we all. I didn't say that. We don't all have a dumb wife, but some people I guess do. Actually, this was a play. It was a medical thing. Back then they used the term dumb for I think people that couldn't speak. So, which is, I mean, that's ridiculous because I talk all the time and I'm super dumb. All right, what's next? Ridicule prediction of dollar gasoline. The suggestion that the price of gasoline will go to $1 a gallon is ridiculous, and the report of the La Follette subcommittee on the effect of the old Standard Oil group practically controls the oil industry. It is not only unfair, but made solely for political. Wow, this all sounds like, whew. According to Walter C. Teagle, the president of Standard Oil of New Jersey, so they said people were like, $1? Come on, gas could never get to $1. That's ridiculous. He knew what he wanted. Sportsman, I want to look at some mirrors. Storekeeper, hand mirrors? Sportsman, no. Some that I can see my face in. Called him a shrimp. On the ground of cruel treatment, Boyd McHinton of North 13th Street, through his attorney Harry J. Dumb, I think his name is Dumb, or maybe Dunn, has started a divorce proceedings against Jenny McGinty of Douglas Street. The husband alleges because of the wife's treatment, he was compelled to leave on this is the beginning of The Odd Couple. Because of his wife's treatment, he was compelled to leave on June 29th, 1922. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Meanwhile, across town, she claims he claims that she is ill-tempered and has a bad temper, ill-mannered and has ill-tempered and has a bad manner. I don't care. According to the statement, when the husband complained about her carelessness, she would throw him against the table and other furniture. She called him a shrimp and said she was sorry she married him. They were married on January 28, 1922. Oh, they just celebrated their 101st anniversary. I mean, assuming this went through, they didn't, I guess. So, that's a shame. Well, that's a shame to hear. Pastor was here for an hour. Stop by. Made the news. They're like, well, that guy was here for an hour. You want to put that in the news? Yeah, this is big news. He was here for a whole hour. Let's see what's this. Local boxer weds Thomas Morrison. Wasn't that the guy who fought Rocky? Tommy Morrison. Freddie, it could have been him. I mean, he didn't look that old when he fought Rocky. Rocky looked old. Local boxer wed. Then below, I like this. Bride entertains. The bride entertained a few friends at her home. She was on West Windsor Street. The guests were Miss Jessie Thompson, Miss Florence Yeager. I just tell some people to stop by. Hey, and here's some people who drove by the house. Democratic smoker. They were trying to get a Democratic. Hey, we should all be so smoky. Who cares? I don't know what it means. I don't know what I'm talking about. Plot to raise sugar price. I like this. They're just like, I just really need to get that sugar price up. This reminds me of, I always think about when I hear of sugar in the old days, there's a movie called, what is that called? It's Kevin Costner and Robert Duvall. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a Western, and it came out maybe like 8 to 10 years ago. And in the movie, there's a scene where you got two guys, two younger guys, and like, I'm going into town. These are like Wild West cowboy types. Like, I'm going to go into town and I'm going to get me some sugar. The guy's like, oh, we're going to get some sugar? Yeah, I'm going to get some sugar when I'm in town. Oh, I'm going to go to town too. I want to get some sugar. And then, almost like it's an Airplane or Naked Gun movie, it cuts to them back from going to town and they're just eating fistfuls of sugar. Like, because I guess back then that was just a treat. You just couldn't get sugar. So, yeah, I don't remember I don't know if that's a real movie. I think maybe I'm making it up. French confiscate plant. We want this plant. You give it to us. We want how you say your rhododendron. Wife gives up man for a house. Hey, that's a good deal. Like that other wife that was having all that trouble calling him a shrimp, throwing him around. She could just give him up. Somebody's giving away a house. Must have been like a Mr. Beast back then that would go, hey, would you trade your wife for this house? It's a TikTok. Let's see. It was Jacob E. Footer. It's like Frankenfooter. Jacob E. Footer. I like that. Communion Cup, a menace. Listen to this. I thought this was very interesting. So this is 100 years ago, and they said that they were worried that, it says, it would seem self-evident in the light of present-day knowledge that the common communion cup, so this is when you're at church and they got the wine, that it's unsanitary. This is what they're saying. The Department of Health is saying, hey, everybody shouldn't be sipping out of the same cup. But then again, you get there sitting at church and you're like, they got free wine up at the front. All I got to do is sip out of the same cup. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Franklin's Philadelphia home. Now, this is interesting. It says Ben Franklin's first Philadelphia home going to be wiped out. 111 Spring Street. Now, I couldn't find 111 Spring Street in Philadelphia. So whatever was called Spring Street changed its name. Now, this happens. Like anytime you hear like, I don't know, a few years ago, they were like, we're renaming this street Sesame Street in New York. That means that, every other news article that you have that mentioned the old name, you're not going to find it. But what's interesting about this is I couldn't find this. It says this one, like where they describe it and that they're tearing it down for approach to the Delaware River. I don't know. I don't know exactly where this was. I couldn't find it. Ben Franklin, famously, one of his houses was torn down, but not at this time. It was torn down earlier than that. And today they call it a ghost house because they just have the frame of it, which they've rebuilt. So it's like a modern put together frame, but where the house would be. But this isn't it. So I'm curious to know where this is, but I couldn't find it and I lost interest. Woman slides down firehouse pole to death on a dare. My God, it was like TikTok was around back then. I mean, if this isn't pulled from today's headlines, that's a shame. That's sad. Here's a picture of this is like one of the first locomotives used by the Reading train department is on display in the museums. I like that. It was probably like 10 years old. They were like, oh, remember back 10 years ago when we first invented trains? Here it is. They had some cartoons of bunnies because it was Easter time, so I thought that'd be a sunny, happy thing to look at. So you got this one of the Easter bunny. You got this one. For Easter, you get some shredded wax paper. They say it'll keep your candy sanitary and clean, which I like. And there the bunny. The bunny looks suspicious. He's like, what's going on? What you looking at? What's going on? Here we got the bunny. He's like, well, what you want? What you want? I got my candy cane. I'm going to Christmas. And the crow's like, hey. I don't know what's going on there. Here we got a bunny that's, I don't know why he's on the ground. He's got some eggs, but he's looking over at a chandelier, and he's like, chandelier's not supposed to be here. Myers Bunny Bread. Here he is. Here the Easter Bunny. He got all dressed up, and he's selling you some batteries. Look at this. Is your boy all fixed for Easter? He's like, I keep my phone in the pocket here. If your boy's fixed, that's what happens. I'm not. I'll see you next time.